Reveal the solution. Now you've asked them, they've agreed. Now you just reveal the solution. You tell them about the thing they're about to get. Right? Now, this is really long. I'll tell you why I would make this briefer, but I'm going to play this for you because it's just so excellent. Can you down the lights? It's the last video. This is a guy who was pretty good at pitching a product.
I've been looking forward to for 2.5 years.
Origin story. Already starting.
Every once in a while, a revolutionary product comes along that changes everything. And Apple has been, well, first of all, one's very fortunate if you get to work on just one of these in your career. Apple's been very fortunate. It's been able to introduce a few of these into the world. In 1984, we introduced the Macintosh. It didn't just change Apple, it changed the whole computer industry. In 2001, we introduced the first iPod. And it didn't just change the way we all listen to music. It changed the entire music industry. Well, today, we're introducing 3 revolutionary products of this class. The first one is a widescreen iPod with touch controls. The second is a revolutionary mobile phone. And the third is a breakthrough internet communications device. So, 3 things. A widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. An iPod, a phone, and an internet communicator. An iPod, a phone. Are you getting it? These are not 3 separate devices. This is one device. And we are calling it iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone. And here it is. No. Actually, here it is, but we're going to leave it there for now. So, before we get into it, let me talk about a category of things. The most advanced phones are called smartphones, so they say. And they typically combine a phone plus some email capability, plus they say it's the internet, sort of the baby internet, into one device, and they all have these plastic little keyboards on them. And the problem is that they're not so smart, and they're not so easy to use. So if you kind of make a Business School 101 graph of the smart axis and the easy-to-use axis, phones, regular cell phones are kind of right there. They're not so smart, and they're not so easy to use. But smartphones are definitely a little smarter, but they actually are harder to use. They're really complicated. Just for the basic stuff, people have a hard time figuring out how to use them. Well, we don't want to do either one of these things. What we want to do is make a leapfrog product that is way smarter than any mobile device has ever been and super easy to use. This is what iPhone is. Okay? So, we're going to reinvent the phone. Now, we're going to start with a revolutionary user interface. Is the result of years of research and development, and of course it's an interplay of hardware and software. Now, why do we need a revolutionary user interface? I mean, here's 4 smartphones, right? Motorola Q, the BlackBerry, Palm Treo, Nokia E62, the usual suspects. And what's wrong with their user interfaces? Well, the problem with them is really sort of in the bottom 40 there. It's this stuff right here. They all have these keyboards that are there whether you need them or not to be there. And they all have these control buttons that are fixed in plastic and are the same for every application. Well, every application wants a slightly different user interface, a slightly optimized set of buttons just for it. And what happens if you think of a great idea 6 months from now? You can't run around and add a button to these things. They're already shipped. So what do? It doesn't work because the buttons and the controls can't change. They can't change for each application, and they can't change down the road if you think of another great idea you want to add to this product. Well, how do you solve this? It turns out we have solved it. We solved it in computers 20 years ago. We solved it with a bitmap screen that could display anything we want, put any user interface up, and a pointing device. We solved it with the mouse, right? We solved this problem. So how are we going to take this to a mobile device? Well, what we're going to do is get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen. A giant screen. Now, how are we going to communicate this? We don't want to carry around a mouse, right? So what are we going to do? Oh, a stylus, right? We're going to use a stylus. No. No. Who wants a stylus? You have to get them and put them away and you lose them. Yuck. Nobody wants a stylus. So let's not use a stylus. We're going to use the best pointing device in the world. We're going to use a pointing device that we're all born with. We're born with 10 of them. We're going to use our fingers. We're going to touch this with our fingers. And we have invented a new technology called multi-touch, which is phenomenal. It works like magic. You don't need a stylus. It's far more accurate than any touch display that's ever been shipped. It ignores unintended touches. It's super smart. You can do multi-finger gestures on it. And boy, have we patented it. So, we've been very lucky to have brought a few revolutionary user interfaces to the market in our time. First was the mouse. The second was the click wheel. And now we're going to bring multi-touch to the market. And each of these revolutionary user interfaces has made possible a revolutionary product. The Mac, the iPod, and now the iPhone. So, a revolutionary user interface. We're going to build on top of that with software. Now, software on mobile phones is like baby software. It's not so powerful. And today, we're going to show you a software breakthrough. Software that's at least 5 years ahead of what's on any other phone. Now, how do we do this? Well, we start with a strong foundation. iPhone runs OS X. Now, why would we want to run such a sophisticated operating system on a mobile device? Well, because it's got everything we need. It's got multitasking. It's got the best networking. It already knows how to power manage. We've been doing this on mobile computers for years. It's got awesome security. And to write apps, it's got everything from Cocoa and the graphics, and it's got core animation built in, and it's got the audio and video that OS X is famous for. It's got all the stuff we want, and it's built right in to iPhone. And that has let us create desktop-class applications and networking, right? Not the crippled stuff that you find on most phones. This is real desktop-class applications. Now, you know, one of the pioneers of our industry, Alan Kay, has had a lot of great quotes throughout the years. And I ran across one of them recently that explains how we look at this, explains why we go about doing things the way we do, because we love software. And here's the quote: "People who are really serious about software should make their own hardware." You know? Alan said this 30 years ago, and this is how we feel about it. And so we're bringing breakthrough software to a mobile device for the first time. It's 5 years ahead of anything on any other phone.
Pretty good pitch, guy. I just want to show you kind of how a really good pitch needs to be delivered. So there are only a few parts to this now. So you're going to reveal this. This is where you reveal your solution. What do you need? You need a name, right? A lot of people talk about what they're selling, but they don't name it. You need to name the thing you're selling. Notice it's called iPhone. It had a name, right? It had a clearly thought out name. I would say that in a lot of your cases when you're selling information, Eben Pagan does a great job. Like your product, Posture Keeper, it keeps your posture. It's pretty straightforward, right? Being too clever can really screw you. One of my favorite people at naming products is Eben Pagan. He's a good friend of mine. And his products are Wake Up Productive, right? Who doesn't want to wake up productive? What does Wake Up Productive evoke in the title? The desired end result, right? Right? Day trade for a living, fishing for profit, right? Whatever it is that you're doing, if you can evoke the desired end result in the name of the product, it really will usually be beneficial to you. You need a USP, a unique selling proposition. You've already done that. It's the only one in the world that does this, right? The biggest reasons are usually, I'll talk about that in a second. You can talk about your experience with it. So you reveal the solution. I want to tell you about the Copywriting Intensive. It's the only place in the world you can come get a point and click, follow the map system to creating world-class copy, even if you've never written a word of copy in your life, in 2 days flat, right? I've personally been able to write over $400 million worth of sales letters following this same system. That's my personal experience with it. It's the fastest and easiest system because you just literally follow the map and fill in the blanks. Speed and ease are going to be your two big, I don't care what business you're in, speed and ease are two of your biggest points you cannot afford to miss. How fast is it? How easy is it? Because here's what people believe. People believe that you did something. They believe that other people did that thing, right? They won't believe they can do it. You got to really go overboard with them on the ease. If you can brush your teeth, you can use this phone, right? All you got to do is hold it and point with your finger. You ever finger paint? What's your favorite thing to do as a kid? Finger painting. It's just like that, only with a phone, right? Something so simple people can understand. And then you're going to tell them actually physically what they're going to get. Notice, telling them what they're going to get at the end is the end. Brief. Be very, very brief right here. Don't spend a lot of time talking about the deliverable. Have you cut back on yours any since we had that chat last time?
We need to do a better job on the sales, the webinar,
Yeah, cutting back on the description of what you're actually buying. You'll watch if you use Wistia and you watch your video stats, when you start describing the deliverables in your course, what's your Wistia stats? Whatever it is you're selling. When you start telling them all the stuff that's in it, features and benefits are different. That's telling them what's going to do for them. They like that. But when you tell them, it's 19 DVDs, and we were doing, like, one of the things we were doing was, and every month you're going to get this, and every month you're going to get that, and every month you're going to get this, and every month you're going to get that. And all they were hearing was, and every month you're going to get a bill. Right? So be careful with that. Agora is amazing. Agora Financial is amazing. You'll usually, or any of the Agora divisions, the sales letter might be 6,000, 7,000 words long. The description of what you're actually buying is usually 100 or 200 words. Is that about right? At the most, right? Now, they'll describe the premiums that you get ad nauseum, right? Because those are gifts, those are fun, those are free, those are desirable, right? But the actual thing you're buying, very little. Next, you're going to run away 20 so bullets. So what's a so bullet? So a bullet shows feature and benefit. Bullets can really sell. They're a very powerful tool. If you don't have the Barry Bencivenga's newsletter, the Bencivenga Bullets, you should get it. It's really pretty good. And he's the king of bullets. He writes the greatest bullets in the world. I think it's benefit bullets. Clayton Makepeace, by far, I believe, I don't know, a lot of other people, writes the best blind bullets. And there's a difference I'll explain in a second. So 20 so bullets. So what is a so bullet? This is my own rule, and it helped me to get through good bullet points. Every bullet point shows a feature and a benefit. The problem is, as copywriters, we tend to not talk about benefits, even though we really should. That's all anybody cares about. So I found a rule that would make me always write good bullets. It's the so rule. I don't write a bullet that doesn't have the word so in it. It's a little repetitive. It seems a little corny sometimes, but if you read the bullets in your letters right now, you'll see that they're there. Every bullet has a so in it. Steel belted radial tires, so you can stop your car, so you can stop in the snow. Pre-vetted lady, so you know she wants love. Twice the size of Lush, so you know they'll last twice as long, right? Easy to follow maps, so you'll never start with a blank slate, right? So when you're going through the benefits and features of what you're selling, you're going to use these, right? This is in your offer. Now, this is a little bit different. This is confusing. I don't want you to get confused here. These bullets are selling the concept of your offer, right? The benefits that they'll get, right? The benefits they'll get when they buy your offer. These are not the benefits. These are not the bullets that describe what's in the offer. There's a difference, okay? There's two sets of bullets. One's going to be at your, one's going to be here, and one's going to be, hold on. Yeah. These 20 so bullets go right after you describe your solution. You've told them about a solution, right? You're going to tell them what they get. You're going to tell them the so bullets, which are the features and benefits of the course or the product or whatever it is they've got. Pardon? I think you write 20 and take as many out as you don't like, but always write 20. If some of these really suck, take them out. But usually the more bullets, the better. There are some sales letters that are I've seen some guys, copywriters that do pretty well, especially on lower dollar products, writing a set of headlines, a set of bullets, and a call to action. No copy. It actually works, right? So this is a so bullet. So any single bullet can make a sale or kill it, right? If a bullet's really, really compelling, it can make the whole sale. If you make another claim and don't substantiate it in a bullet, it can kill your sale, right? If you say, Cole, you just happen to have a bullet in there that says how to make $200 an hour taking food pictures, right? And you're not explaining how you get those clients or how you get paid that much money or any of that, that could cause a bullshit meter to go off, especially if anybody's ever been paid $20 to take food photos, right? Because they might say, hey, nobody pays $200 for food photos. He's a liar, right? So if it's something really out there, just remember the boiled chicken rule. Interesting, but no claims. Next, you show your social proof. Number 7. You prove the idea. Here's a mistake a lot of people make with social proof. Prove the concept. So a lot of people make this mistake with social proof. If you're telling people, if you've got a product on how to use resistance bands to train, right? Your social proof doesn't have to be about your product. It just has to be about using bands to train, right? So you could take testimonials, clips, studies, anything you want and use it, because right here, you're only validating the concept. You're validating the idea. You're not validating the course. You follow? It's like I can take all sorts of data here and talk about how copywriting is the most awesome thing in the world. And I can pull quotes from Ogilvy and Mathers. I can show statistics of long form versus short form. I can use third-party validation. I can use authoritative figures that are talking about the same thing. I can use testimonials. I usually put them last, and then lastly, some logic. So, for instance, for my hot dog course, I've used this. I've used Dog in Pursuit Professional finds new livelihoods selling frankfurters. And this is a story about this family, this Mexican family in this little town of 8,000 people in Mexico makes $150,000 a year selling hot dogs with a hot dog cart. I used to use this as my social proof when I sold my hot dog cart. I don't know this family. I don't know anybody at the Wall Street Journal. Doesn't matter, right? Wall Street Journal's a Buddha. They're a big, undeniable, dominant authority. Everybody who reads this is going to believe this story because it came from the Wall Street Journal, right? Much more than they're going to believe the same story coming from me.